Hold on. There we go. So here's the end product of this crazy ass attempt at finding a solution for soldering iron. Which, yes, believe it or not, came down to preheating the tip after I filed it down. Which it still needs to be filed down a little bit more, which will probably help. And basically holding this in the flame until it managed to let's see if I can do a zoom on it. There we go. This point and this point. It just melted the solder enough to remove the part. That was it. So to try to remove for this ferrous capacitor, or not capacitor, ferrous coil here. Ferrous coil, core coils, and these two capacitors. And I believe these are the same. This is working with junk, folks. And not to mention how much copper wire is available is basically, well, down to salvaging and dragging it out. Basically taking the fucking thing apart in public. A TV or something. But I need thicker copper wire than that. So that's what I'm down to. Fucking diamond edge filer. The assembled micro parts here for the bearing system, and also the fucking word for it, socket for this to spin on. And of course, since I don't have any of my other tools here, since I had to evacuate everything because my bike got stolen, place got broke into, I had to lock everything down. So it's what happens in a squatter's world. You never know what the hell's gonna go down. And this is what I'm effectively left with this, and whatever I have to start fabricating it, which has to almost be flattened down, some of it, and the rest of it is actually not a bad idea, being curved already, and this has to be cut a little bit. It all has to be cut a little straighter than what I've been doing, because I'm reduced to this. And it's annoying as fuck. So, to even build the outer coil array for this, I have nowhere near the copper wire. Could you imagine for how long it took to build these? About 30-40 minutes a piece. There's two of them here. Because, the wire has to be straightened. And it has to be mildly heated, with just body heat, just so that way it's pliable, more moldable, and can take on a better permanent form. Of course, it's not just mindlessly wrapping a fucking coil. There is a practice to doing this by hand that is pretty much lost to the ages. So, with dielectric and diamagnetic effects here, the impedance should be well enough. So I'm not pulling out all of this yet, because I have to remake some of this already, because it's creating too much of a catch. And this one is this egg shape is better for maintaining the center on that, so it didn't dance around as much. If I go any thicker with this dip here, as you can see, for the bearing to rest in, it causes resistance. So this may not be the exact material to use for it, or, well, it's supposed to be a weak magnetic attractor that works for this coupler. So And I don't have enough magnets in the first place, and I've already checked the local dollar stores for the magnetic stripping rolls. They don't have that either. So, and shit I already purchased, by the way. With a soldering iron, I would have already had this. Even if I had to use a battery fucking hookup for it, I could have done it. Would have been easier than literally from nothing at all on it. So, I'm kind of like dead in the water at the same time, still managing to tread a little bit every so often, so that's about where things are at. Return to university is fucked on a side note, and also progressing this past August is going to go into classes in session again. And the ultimate consideration right now is to get this fully encased in its chassis, so that way it can be effectively, if power is applied to it, it should spin, and then it's just building the it doesn't have to have constant power, just burst. That's what the capacitors are for, of course. But I don't go through and tell everyone everything what I'm doing, because it's work in progress. It's mine. Not looking to make money on it, trying to just demonstrate a principle. But I need to make a living somehow, other than working for scraps and, a few meals here and there. And even this is nonsense as well. What should have been taken care of, and this is why this is again at this state instead of where it was. See, I already knew it could be made small. I was doing it big so that way every wave point could be tapped into, and it would not only function, but it also would serve as a research article itself, an article of research. As in not a written, but an object of research. So this one is literally just throwing it all together so it fucking works. So I guess it's somewhat skipping the proof and concept design and going straight into feasible. And so here's what has to be done. Here's the problem solution on this, mind you, which is the annoying part, which is why I'm stalling, holding back. With the simple tools that I have already had and should be doing this with, this could have been done already, and far better. So when I look at, okay, soldering iron, well then shit, I'm gonna have to try to heat up metal. I tried to paperclip first. It actually does get hotter. And I've wrapped one with copper wire to increase its thermal conductivity. I have not tested that because that is over in the middle of an evac because of the environment I'm in. So I moved everything of fucking value to fuck out. Rather, everything of, value. Because no, I can't just replace the shit. It takes forever. It literally does. It took, to actually find a TV that had this shit in it, took almost a year. So get real. And that's walking something, when I had a bike, that's 5 to 10 mile radius. 10 on a good day. Times citywide. So I'm not in the mood to sit here and try to work with, oh, you've got this and that and all of this other bullshit. Because right now, if the US side can't be taken care of, and even this shit's basically fucked and having to go back this way to get over here, this is the last fucking 4 years in America in a nutshell. It's just gonna keep fucking snowballing. And now Canada doesn't have... or rather, the consulate in Detroit, the Canadian consulate in Detroit, is no longer receiving immigrants or refugees. There may be an exception because I already had one in process, but still falls under the same premise. Try to tell that to someone who's asking what your situation is, and they have no idea about international law. Yeah, it doesn't work out very well. So that's why I'm stuck doing this shit, mind you. So yeah, that's why, because, you know, people don't seem to get it even with the paperwork. But at least the university has recognized that, you know, I got the real deal here. So anyway, people were like, why you got so many beer cans? Resource. In fact, this one fits for that. So, which is another stupid little connector set I'm looking at doing. Why all these connectors? Because of the shit that goes in between them. And this helps connect the circuits and amplify the fields. Do I have all the tools to fucking show you this? No, all I can do is take this phone, like an EMF meter, that not all of them even come with, and basically sketch you a line across it and kind of show you the loop and the dips and and where they are constant and where they cut off, you know, at a certain point. And if I can modulate fields like that, then it's just down to, well, even if I had access to everything that there is access to, it would still be down to what you got. Let me see what you got at this point. Because I'm working with recycled junk right now, so, and still making it into gold effectively. Anyone else?